I'm Brandon, and this is
Parker.
Same thing we did last time, except we're less sleepy.
We're bad at this.
Yeah, this is episode 2.
We're bad at the intro part, at least. Yeah. We're going to get an actual intro
I
planned
never
out.
had to come up with an intro on anything else I did.
Well, it's finals week, so I'm busy doing other things. And knowing Brandon's just naturally lazy, so.
I'm working on getting this stupid Aquaman video uploaded. The school won't let me upload it. Aquaman. Aqua water.
No, you said aqua. You
aqua.
like, I could hear the C in it.
It's a
no
K.
pun intended.
It's a Q.
Okay. Let's get started. What are we talking about today, Brandon? Besides for Rogue One, which we'll get to, which was amazing.
All right, Rogue One was amazing. All right, let me pull up list of topics. All right, so YouTube claims there's no problem with YouTube sub boxes after quote unquote looking at 100 different cases of people complaining, and they found nothing wrong.
Yeah, I want to say something, but it's not appropriate for school, so I can't say it. But I think y'all know what I want to say.
By the way,
this is stupid.
For those who don't know, this is a school project podcast thing. We're recording this in a school. It gets sent to all of our teacher or our mass media teacher. It's for school. Anyway.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, well then why couldn't you just bleep the curse words out? Well,
because editing is hard. I don't want to do that.
And plus, that would lower the chances of this getting actually put up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but anyway, so YouTube claims that there are no problems with YouTube after looking at 100 different cases of complaints.
Which is stupid.
Because there are, millions of people on, YouTube. There are thousands of people who are sending in these complaints, and YouTube is like, oh, there's nothing wrong. You guys are, all 1,000 of you are lying. And then it's like, well, what if you're marked as a spam account? Apparently, if you're marked as a spam account, you still get all the videos and notifications into your sub box. You just don't show up as a subscriber.
There's, 100 people, that's 1% of practically everyone that's on
not
YouTube.
Even 1%.
Yeah, that's not even 1%. So that's such a small margin, and that's stupid. And YouTube made a very stupid decision to just test 100 people. You know, if you have a problem on such a large scale, you're obviously going to have to search for it in a pretty wide range because, how many, PewDiePie just hit 50 million people?
Yeah.
50 million subscribers. There's so many people on YouTube. I understand you can't do it all, but you can do quite a bit of it.
Yeah, and they upload a video explaining this, and it has I think it has over 1 million dislikes within a day of it being uploaded.
Did it beat Infinite Warfare?
I don't know.
Actually, sorry, you guys probably didn't hear that, but I asked if it beat Infinite Warfare. The reveal trailer for it, anyways.
Sorry if audio is quiet. There's one mic in here, and we aren't always that close to it.
I try to be.
I don't.
Yeah, you're stupid, Brandon.
Never mind. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Good job.
I'm
not going to even ask what Markiplier is doing in that picture. That looks so bad.
Take a guess.
Oh, my God. Why? Okay.
It's frosting. It's not anything.
No. We don't need to say anything, otherwise you're going to imply...
YouTube shut itself.
Oh, my God. Just get back on topic.
All right, so YouTube claims that there are 0 problems with YouTube, which is stupid.
We've said that 1,000 times.
I know. I'm just restating that.
No, you don't need to restate it because
I will restate it if I want to.
Brandon,
Parker.
we restated this 30,000 times. You gotta say something different. So, what I think my esteemed colleague was going to say was
the video.
What I think he was going to say is that I would say this. I don't know what he's going to say, to be honest. I never know what Brandon's thinking. Brandon's weird.
Where'd the video go?
I
think they took it down.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. It seems like YouTube took the video down, and that means that they knew they messed up. So,
just like MTV.
They recently
did.
Let's think about this for a minute. YouTube is not a very good place to be right now, just because of all the problems that are happening. So, if YouTube is trying to cover up an operation to fix it. Like, I feel like they're doing an internal investigation to try to fix it, and they don't want anybody to know about it. So they're trying to put it off as though this is just a tiny thing. You know, it's not going to work. You know, if anyone from YouTube is listening, I doubt they would. But if anyone from YouTube is listening, like, tell your CEO, you know, this is just common sense. If you cover it up, people are instantly going to know what you're trying to do because it's obvious you covered it up. And if you're going to address these problems, address them correctly, not testing this so-called bug on less than 1% of YouTube's entire population.
Yeah, and also when you start talking about it, don't take it down if people don't like it. You're still attempting to explain yourselves. You don't take it down because then people are going to be like, oh, like, they obviously are not doing much.
Yeah, that just made it look worse.
Yeah. Though Boogie2988 recently started a hashtag fixed YouTube challenge where everybody goes in and gives like advice to YouTube and talks about like positive things on YouTube currently because he was tired of all the negative content because over the past couple weeks it's just been everybody yelling at YouTube.
Yeah. I like that. Honestly, Boogie is probably one of my favorite YouTubers. I have a ton of respect for the man. He's gone through so much in his life. It's crazy. And you know what? I have a ton of respect for that man, and I agree with him 100% on that statement. You know, it has been nothing but people just yelling at YouTube, and I don't like that. You know, I don't like that either. Because, like, as you can tell, negativity isn't working. We gotta try to be positive about it, or at least like passive-aggressive or something. Just something that's not negativity, because that's what's causing YouTube to ignore us and to try to cover this up. They're afraid of the backlash that they're gonna get. That's why they're trying to cover this up.
Yeah. Next topic is there's an Emoji Movie trailer, and it looks so bad.
I saw it. It looks terrible.
Oh, it's so bad. I don't understand. Who asked for an Emoji Movie? All right, Lego Movie, I could understand. There's gonna be a Minecraft movie apparently. I don't know if that was scrapped, but like around the time when they released the Lego Movie, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do a Minecraft."
Oh my
movie
god!
next.
I hope it's scrapped. Okay, look, as fun as Minecraft is to play, I've grown out of it. Right? I still have respect for the game, but it is too much of a cringy thing nowadays for me to keep playing because of the fact that every like 5-year-old kid, do you play Minecraft? And that's not a terrible thing, but it's just it gets cringy. It gets cringy, and you know. I'm not saying Minecraft's a bad thing, but I've grown out of it. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. I've grown out of it. And I don't think we need anything else with Minecraft. Minecraft in itself has already conquered gaming like PewDiePie conquered YouTube. Let's just leave it at that, you know?
Here's my thing. I like Minecraft. I'll still play it whenever I'm bored and don't have anything else to play. Minecraft doesn't need a story, and for a movie, you need a story.
Yeah, exactly.
It's why I didn't like Minecraft story mode that much, even though they were like, we're going to include like Captain Sparkles and all these other big YouTubers. I'm like,
Telltale
cool.
is so good, though. I love Telltale.
They're good. They did it in a good way. I just don't like the idea of Minecraft having a story, because I like it where it's like, here's a world that is yours now. Go screw around and do whatever you can.
I like that.
Yeah. All right. Next thing is Deadshot is getting a movie.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so
standalone Deadshot film. That's going to be cool.
And Harley Quinn movie is no longer going to be a solo Harley Quinn movie, but a Gotham City Sirens, which is usually a team up between Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
I don't know if I want to go. That's good. Okay, if that movie comes out, do not take your kids to go see it. Lord almighty.
Why?
Catwoman, Harley Quinn, and Poison Ivy.
Well,
I don't think any sentence they're going to say...
I mean, the comics are fairly kid-friendly for them. Usually.
Well, I mean, think about it. Think about all the stuff that Harley did and that she implied. And, like... There's gonna be a lot of innuendos. There's gonna be a lot of sexual talk if it's the three of them. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy are together currently, I think.
Oh, you're kidding me, right?
No.
Oh God, this is gonna get weird, man. I don't mess with tentacles. I'm Japanese. No, thank you. I don't mess with tentacles. This is gonna get weird.
All right. Next thing, our biggest topic, because we are on a short time limit, because someone took a long time with the test, because someone took a long time with a printer.
It wasn't me working the printer. It was the teacher down there.
I was saying you were late because someone was also late.
Well, you implied that it was me.
For the first turn, yes. You took a long time on your test.
Okay, you know what? Let's just talk about Rogue One.
All right. Star Wars Rogue One. The first...
Lord almighty, that movie is amazing.
Yes. It was so good. It's so good. It was... I like how they went with, like... It's not really your story of, like, a hero who wields laser
Spoiler
swords.
warning.
Yeah, this is, like, 100% spoilers. If you haven't seen it, go away. Not in a bad way. Just
like,
leave.
if you haven't seen it, pause this, go get in your car, watch it now, or have somebody take you, watch it now, and then come back and listen to the rest of this.
That's if you don't care about spoilers. I don't really care much about spoilers.
I do.
Yeah, because you're weird. I'm joking. I'm the weird one here. It's my job. But,
And he admits it, ladies and gentlemen. That's recorded proof.
My Twitter profile thing says I'm a weirdo. I'm a professional weirdo.
Okay. All right. Let's keep talking. We got a bit off track.
So Star Wars Rogue One was a story about basically the first couple minutes of Star Wars A New Hope with the opening scrawl, the team who got the Death Star plans to Princess Leia. What did you think of the movie?
It was great. I give it a 9 out of 10. It would be 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for the beginning with all the separate cuts going from planet to planet. The beginning was just very uninteresting.
My thing was just the time jumps. I was fine with cutting to different planets and different scenes, but I hated the time jump.
I didn't hate the time jump. Okay, and I've worded it wrong. That's my bad. I'm thinking about the wrong thing. The reason why I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 isn't the fact that we were jumping from planet to planet so fast. That did take away from it. But it was the lack of character development. And I understand that all the characters in the end died, but I still feel like we needed more character development.
Here was a problem I had, which I only found out because one of the YouTube channels I watch, Men vs. Movies, go check them out, link in the description maybe. They upload a video about, there's a book that came out called Star Wars Rogue One Catalyst, which is basically, it provides character development to Jin's father, the villain, Tarkin, the villain, I forget what his name is. I'm horrible with movie character names.
That's Director Krennic.
Yeah, him, and then Grand Moff Tarkin, and then the one rebel leader they have to seek out towards the beginning, whose name I also forget.
Saw Gerrera, who is... Well, the thing is, Saw was a Clone Wars character.
Yeah.
And, okay, so...
He's also coming to Rogue One. Not Rogue One, Rebels.
I know. Stop hating on Saw Gerrera. No, not Saw Gerrera, I'm sorry. Stop hating on Forrest Whitaker. Like, oh my lord. He did a really good job with acting. And everyone's saying he over-dramatized it. He just, like, he overacted it, is what a lot of people are saying, and he didn't. You know, that's what his character was. His character was half crazy. His character was half insane. His character was stupidly paranoid.
Based on what I found out towards the beginning of...
He was stupidly paranoid about, Imperial spies everywhere. He's almost... It's almost comparable to the paranoia that the first or third emperor of China, I think, who almost got like 6 or something assassination attempts in like a couple months. It was crazy.
Apparently, if you read the book, you get to see his transition from like this smuggler, sort of like Han Solo-esque character, I guess, to slowly. Like, going from, I don't really care about what's going on, to slowly hating the Empire and losing his sanity to his fight.
Well, he was also a rebel from the beginning, because he was in the Clone Wars, so...
Yeah. Speaking of rebels, there were Star Wars Rebels references in this movie.
Everywhere.
There was the droid that they keep...
Chopper.
Yeah, I don't watch Star Wars Rebels, so I didn't really know these until I looked back.
Let me take this then. So, you have the droid, Chopper, who appeared first. You don't want Brandon. Okay. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I might you might hear nasty sounding things. That's me probably doing something terrible to Brandon that shouldn't be talked about.
And don't talk about that.
And I mean yeah,
Sounds like
basically I'm saying I'm going to kill Brandon in a very horrible fashion. Anyways,
saying something else.
that's what I was trying to clear up. You don't need to say that, otherwise, like, you know, we're gonna edit that out.
I'm not getting picked up.
We're gonna edit that out. Okay. So their droid Chopper, Baru, I believe is his name. The parallel to or I should say the best friend of Donnie Yen's character, Cherut Imwe. That's really weird to say. He during a moment where he fired a rocket at the AT-ACT, which is a cargo hauler version of the AT-AT, and it has lighter guns, but it's still pretty devastating and heavier armor, you know.
We don't need to specify on the ship type.
It's a walker, not a ship. Okay.
Whatever.
So he fires the rocket, right? Boom! The head swings to the left, and then swings right back. And the first word he says is Carablast. And that's a word, maybe something equivalent to a cuss word in Xeno language. I don't know. At least in the Rebels universe, because that is what the character Zeb says all the time.
The Ghost also shows up at some
The
point
Ghost
in the movie.
and the Hammerhead Corvette show up during the third act. It is so cool. Holy crap.
Can I just say, I really wanted to watch Star Wars Rebels, but it has Force users before A New Hope, so you know they are all most likely going to die.
I don't know. They already survived a run-in with Vader.
I know, but like they also had like the help of like Darth Maul and Ahsoka throughout these fights.
Not
Maul
until
didn't help
recently.
with Vader.
Not until recently, and Kanan has become much more powerful since talking to the Grand Inquisitor and Master Yoda.
Yeah, but like you can't have Force users during A New Hope because that gets rid of. You can't have Force users during A New Hope because that gets rid of the idea where Luke Skywalker is the last Force user except for like Obi-Wan and Yoda, and he is their final hope.
That's not what it was. I don't think that's not what it was. And you know that they've tried to do stuff like that before, and honestly, I don't see a problem with it because Luke being the only living Force user left is a bit ridiculous. And in that case, timeline stuff wouldn't work out unless he like went and just like banged.
Well,
okay, that's the wrong word. Edit that out because this is a school thing. I forgot that for a second. But if a Force user procreates, the kids are most likely going to be Force users, right? So unless he was able to create a stupid amount, he wouldn't have been able to replenish the amount of Force users that he needed to start a new Jedi Order. So that's like friggin' Luke isn't the last Jedi. He's not the last Force user.
Can I just say, you know that midichlorians do show up, like, naturally.
Oh, my
right?
God.
They're canon!
Why are we talking about midichlorians?
I don't like referencing them, but they are canon, and they do show up naturally. You know that, right?
God, look at that sound spike, Brandon. Jesus. I think you got us into the red.
We are in the red.
You got us into the red. Oh, my God, you did. You got us into the red, dude. Holy crap.
Doesn't matter. That was also part of your yell, I assume, when you were like,
no, that was you. Because I was like, no, and you were the loud one. Okay.
Listen, midichlorians are still canon, and they do show up naturally. And all right, last Force user might not have been the best.
Yes, they do show up naturally, but they would have no way of telling who's Force sensitive because all the Jedi holocrons with those who have been born, or those who will be born and who are going to be Force sensitive, are gone.
Qui-Gon Jinn found out that Anakin was Force sensitive by taking a blood sample.
Yeah, but they can't do that. Oh my God.
Blood samples are still a thing.
He's starting a new Jedi Order. He's gonna try to do it the way the old Jedi did it. Like, he's not just gonna induct a bunch of teenagers and crap who are really moody and who are more susceptible to the dark side. There we go. That's a word.
And
there's a reason why Jedi were inducted from birth.
In Star Wars Legends, he had like I forget exactly what it was, but there was like a series. There was a book where it's like it followed a new recruit to the new Jedi Temple that Luke ran, and he had like this series of tests you had to go to prove that you were Force sensitive in order to join him.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Kind of like what Mace Windu had Anakin do to make sure make sure Qui-Gon was truthful. Like, we're gonna have you do a bunch of these tests to make sure you know what you're talking about.
So, let's
also, last Force user might not have been the best word. I prefer the term like last of the Jedi.
That makes sense, but at the same time, not necessarily. I just think he was the last chance for the rebellion because he was a fresh start.
I guess.
Okay, so let's elaborate a bit more on Rogue One. Donnie Yen is officially my favorite actor now, and I love that man to death.
All right.
First off, one of the funniest moments in the movie. Jesus, I can't talk today. In the movie, for me at least, was, are you kidding me? I'm blind.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, the Saw Gerrera's rebels kidnapped them, and they were going to take them to Saw Gerrera, so they put bags over their heads, including Donnie Yen's head. And his character is blind, and it's very obvious that his character is blind.
Can I just say, speaking of the rebels, I love their portrayal in this, because every time we saw them before, it was like, we are the all-righteous, we never do anything wrong, but in this, it's like,
they do some bad stuff.
They have the right intentions, but they might not be the best morally. Like,
they do some pretty terrible stuff, and I love to see that.
If killing you would give them a leg up on the Empire, they will shoot you in the back faster than you can blink.
Absolutely. And that's the good thing about it. That is the great thing about this. I love that so much, the fact that we get to see the darker side of the rebellion, and they also humanize the Empire a bit.
It's like the rebels might not be the good guy. Also, technically, to the public before the destruction of Alderaan, the rebels were seen as like terrorists.
Yep.
They were like just this rebel group who were interfering with this peacekeeping organization.
And not necessarily peacekeeping, more controlling through fear.
Yeah, but it was still peaceful because you still like.
In a sense, there was still slavery.
Yeah, but
and many other violent things.
Yeah, but most of the people were still safe, and they felt secure, and usually they were. But the rebels, in their eyes, were just this group of terrorists who were attacking this Senate-approved government.
It wasn't. I guess it was because
the Chancellor and all the people who weren't
will be
siding with
the
Jedi.
Galactic Republic will now be reformed into the Galactic Empire.
Wait, I have a question.
And then everyone's like clapping.
How did Palpatine?
Padme is like, so this is how freedom dies.
I got a question.
With a round of applause.
How does Palpatine explain the fact that he went from like an old guy to a really old guy?
I have that must be so awkward for him. He looks like a pair of testicles. That poor man. I don't care. That one's going in.
All right.
That one's going in because that's funny, and you know it's true. Like, seriously, I mean, there's like a crease in the middle of his forehead and everything that like separates
Maybe that was foreshadowing. Anyway, one thing I didn't like, though, were the CGI recreations of classic characters.
What? Brandon, you can leave right now.
I mean, no, it's not that it was bad. It was just like, you know what the uncanny valley is, right?
Not necessarily.
Basically, it's when you see this. It's usually a term for robots. It's when you see something that looks human, but it's ever so slightly off that it makes you uneasy.
Yeah. Okay.
Watching those scenes, except for like the ones where it's like reflections, like Grand Moff Tarkin, how it was like not most of the time. A lot of times he was just in a reflection of the glass in space.
Pull up the other topics. I keep talking.
But yeah, while he was like reflecting, I was like, okay, that's cool. But like once he turned around, I was like, oh no, this does. It just made me feel uneasy because the kid, the lifeless eyes, for all of them, there was just something that was slightly off.
Yeah, for me, I wasn't really looking for it. That's my thing, and it looked really good. It was very, very good CGI, and I had a very. I wasn't looking for it. You know, Tarkin, I could tell because he's dead. But I mean, Carrie Fisher, I legitimately thought that was Carrie Fisher with a bunch of makeup on, and they can do that. You know, that's a thing nowadays. That's a very big thing nowadays. And not a very big thing, but a thing that could happen.
Speaking of that, one good thing about it is how they used a lot of CGI for like making things look better, but a lot of the aliens and stuff were all practical effects.
Almost
if you look at
every
the
alien was practical effects. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was like obviously like the lasers and the ships flying around weren't, but like all like the interior scenes, like all the aliens, they were all just like people in makeup usually. There were a couple that were CGI obviously, and obviously they enhanced them all with CGI because can't make prosthetics move like that usually. But other than that, it looks so much better that you're like actually at these places and not in some warehouse behind a green screen, which didn't work for the prequels at all. Like that was probably my biggest complaint with the prequels, wasn't like the acting or the fact that it didn't focus on the wars or the battles or all these interesting characters they introduced. It was just all the green screen. Everything was like looked extremely unrealistic.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. Let's talk a bit more about Rogue One. What else can we talk about with Rogue One?
It was good. Darth Vader was a beast.
Oh my god, yes, they made Vader scary again. I love it. And James Earl Jones sounded so good. It's like he picked up right where he left off. It was amazing.
Apparently
Holy crap.
people are mad about that scene where he's choking
Really? Why?
the main guy.
That
He's
was a
like, don't
good
choke on
scene.
your aspirations.
That was a good scene. That
I'm
was
like,
funny.
I was like,
laughed
Vader
at that.
made a joke. If you watch
Like,
prequels, Anakin Skywalker made jokes all the time in the
I
prequels.
honestly can't believe Vader made a joke in any way. That caught me so off guard. I laughed, but at the same time, I'm like,
Me
that's
too.
a thing? What?
It took
He
me.
just told a joke.
It took
Guys,
me.
he just told a joke. Like, well, I thought it was a robot. I didn't think they were capable of telling
Yeah,
jokes.
It legitimately took me a moment to remember this is technically Anakin Skywalker we're talking about here.
Yup.
Like deep down, he is still like Anakin Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was awesome. That ending scene of him on a spaceship made me realize how good a Star Wars horror film would be. Just a group of rebels stranded on a ship with a Sith Lord, trying to survive.
Like it was crazy because the rebels were all the door was jammed and they couldn't get in, and they were the guys that had the plans, and you know the door wouldn't open, and then all of a sudden
I love
and
that
you
scene.
see a red lightsaber, and it's just like, oh my god, it's happening, and it's Vader, and he just starts cutting them to pieces. It's brutal. He throws one guy up into the ceiling and like cuts him in half on his way down. I'm pretty sure the dude was already dead when he hit the ceiling, but I mean, you know, why not? And you know, the rebel, they're like screaming and shouting, "Help us!" as other rebels are running to the Tantive 4 to try to get out of here, or to try to get off of the ship. And he finally gets the attention of one rebel, and the other rebel can't get it open. And he's like, "Here, just take the plans, go." So the other rebel takes the plans, and right as he does that, the lightsaber right through his chest, and Vader starts cutting open the door, and he goes through the rebel, which is that was whoa. I didn't expect them to do that.
I love that scene where it's just like they're just passing the planes along, like, get it to the ship. It doesn't really matter if we survive. Just get this to the ship by any means necessary.
I like that too, because it showed that these guys were pretty selfless and that they knew the stakes.
Like there's no way they stood a chance, because there was a scene in one of the recent Darth Vader books, I'm pretty sure it's now canon, where Vader gets stranded on a planet, so the rebels send in almost their entire army to take him on.
Yeah,
he kills every single one,
including the Imperials. Who,
he's willing to murder his own guys.
Well, no, he killed Imperials because there was an Imperial scientist who had gained a lot of prestige and had created cybernetic warriors that would eventually, whose abilities given to them by cybernetics would be able to surpass the Force and would eventually replace Vader as Palpatine's personal enforcer, but
There were,
that
like,
didn't
4 of
work.
them.
They all died. Vader ended up killing the scientist,
Vader
and
worked with some
Palpatine
of
made
them.
it look like he was. Vader made it look like, or no, Palpatine made it look like the scientist was trying to overthrow the Empire, so he didn't get any backlash from the Imperial scientific community, and in the end, it all worked out for them. And also, the rebels unfortunately lost quite a lot of troops.
Yeah. Didn't know you read comics.
I don't read comics, but I stay up to date on what's going on. Like,
Okay.
it's through YouTube videos. I hear about this stuff, and then I look into
Which
it more.
YouTube channels do you watch?
Star Wars Explained, Fact Free, a couple others.
All right. Can I just say I watched all those channels like within the past hour? All right, but yeah, I really want to see a Star Wars horror movie with a Sith Lord. Make that happen.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Can we get like a Darth Maul movie?
That's okay, so the time period where Darth Maul is trying to survive when he got cut in half, you know how when he was
where
first
he's,
found in the
like,
Clone Wars where he's
losing-
like this
yeah.
spider thing?
He's losing
Think about
his
it, that would be
sanity.
the perfect thing for a horror movie because he's still a Sith Lord, but he's insane. That would be a crazy cool horror movie. And it wouldn't necessarily just be rebels, it could be any group of guys just going in and trying to survive.
Because he's also against like the Empire now because Palpatine betrayed him.
He's against everyone,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Though, like in Rebels, he's like, I will work with you guys, but only because the enemy is my friend.
He wants an apprentice, so that's what he's trying. He's gonna try to eventually kill Kanan and take on Ezra as his apprentice.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, like,
Wait, isn't that what Alright, not what you're talking about right now. Clone Wars ended on with Darth Maul being captured by Palpatine, him being like, oh, I'm not going to kill you because you're still mine.
yes, he was horribly tortured.
Which, by the way, that scene really made me angry when they were like, and canceled. I'm like, come on.
Thanks, Disney.
I
Flipping you the bird right now.
I love you guys, Disney, but seriously, you had to cancel the one season that ended on a cliffhanger.
And if you saw the other scenes or the other episodes that weren't animated but sketched out, they're on YouTube. They were some great plot lines. They were amazing plot lines, and they were such good episodes.
I mean, all right. So, some of the episodes were probably like definitely in production when the show was canceled.
Oh yeah, absolutely, they were.
How cartoons work is like they make like 3 seasons before the first season airs.
Yeah,
because it takes so long, so they can't do it all like in between seasons. So they do like the first 3 seasons making it. That's why so many kids shows that get canceled after like their 3rd season are still making it to their 3rd season.
Yeah. So another thing I want to touch on in Rogue One: don't bring your kids. It is not.
It's much more of a dark.
Yes,
and
it
gritty
is very
movie.
dark, very gritty. We did get to see a lot of ground action with the rebels.
It's
That's
not
really
like
cool. Like there was. Oh, that's a crack. I thought
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So there was a legitimate like ground battle. There was like you got to see the legitimate war, and there was this
Like-
giant epic space battle that was like crazy cool. And it was done so well, and everything looked like it was from the 70s. My parents were freaking out because they're like, it looks exactly like how it was when we went to go see it in the 70s. You know, the original untouched version. And like it shows they really did that. They filled every plot hole. They put in a stupid amount of Easter eggs. There was so much fan service. It was crazy. I mean, for frick's sake, they even they even had all the X-Wing fighter pilots be white guys with 70s mustaches. It was great.
Speaking of like the rebels, the costuming was great.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it really shows like they aren't.
The rebels look cool.
Yeah, like up until the very end, you don't really get like a sense that they are all like, all their suits seem like very. What can we get to make ourselves look like a decent army? Like everything's pulled together.
And in this, they look like a legitimate army.
What was the blind guy's name again?
Donnie Yen is the actor. The character's name is Chorut Imwe.
All right, his outfit kind of reminded me of an Assassin's Creed outfit.
It sort of did too.
Which I'm like,
actually, okay.
I was surprised it worked though.
So I have theorized. I'm not sure if you guys remember the E3 footage we saw of that one Star Wars game that we have no idea what it is, but it looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That dude was wearing a robe that was red and black and looked a lot like Donnie Yen's robe or Chirrut Imwe's robe. So it might not be too far off to say that we might be getting a standalone game about Donnie Yen. character, Chirrut Imwe, which would be amazing.
His death scene was probably the saddest in my opinion.
Oh my god, I almost cried. Him and Baru, the other guy, I almost cried. I was so close, man.
It was so hard because like he was like praying to the Force the entire time. He was like, I gotta make it to this one lever. He pulled the lever. He was like, I did it. Boom.
Well, like
Death.
he wasn't necessarily like he was praying, but it also protected him.
Yeah.
And another thing that I like about this, it shows you don't have to be a Jedi Force, and I love that because he wasn't a Jedi, but I mean, he looked like one.
Yeah.
Holy crap! I mean, he was honestly like if he had a lightsaber, people would think he's a Jedi, but he's not.
I legit assumed that like I wasn't aware of how kyber crystals were gonna play into this, so I wasn't. My thing was I was under the impression he was a Jedi, but he had to resort to the older methods of embedding the Force into physical objects to make them as strong as lightsabers.
Yes, that I thought that might have been a thing, but then it started, and I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't think so either, because yeah, he knew of the Force. He clearly used it in a very Daredevil-esque way, but he never used it to like push anyone or any way that the Jedi typically use them.
Speaking of kyber crystals, I'm gonna touch back on Donnie Yen here in a second. Speaking of kyber crystals, I'm so mad right now. It is so stupid. Disney, you know what? Screw off. And then, it's too complicated. The whole process of choosing a color crystal based on what the person is adept in and all that crap.
But
they simplified it to the point where it's like, oh, all the crystals are clear and the process is like super simplified, and then it just changes the color of the crystal.
Clone Wars had this thing that's canon, though.
And it changes the color. No, it's not canon anymore.
But Clone Wars is canon.
Yeah, but that episode's not. That series of episodes is not canon. So, instead they're like, okay, we're going to make all the kyber crystals clear now. And that ticks my nerves, because you obviously saw that the kyber crystals that Saw Gerrera's rebels stole, they were all clear. But, like, the whole reason the Death Star laser green is because it was not necessarily powered, but it used green kyber crystals.
I really like the
Like what they
explanation
do,
that
just
was
put
there before,
some magic dye on the laser beam, and it's like, what? Oh, it's green now? Like no, that's not how it works. No.
I like the other explanation that was canon, where it's like, it's the color is based on either what crystal you get technically, or how like your personality itself, because like there were characters where like they'd pull like very similar things, but once they'd imbued their Force like sensitivity into it to make it their own weapon, the color would come out.
Right about to leave. No, here's the thing, and this is probably the last thing we're going to be able to talk about, is that the whole thing with kyber crystals is that different colors had different meanings. Blue meant you were more adept as a sword fighter. Green meant you were more adept in the Force. White represented neutrality.
Usually the red ones were the only synthetic ones, right?
Orange, gold/yellow, and I think another color represented extreme loyalty to a single cause. And then the red ones were
they were the ones that weren't natural. They were synthetic.
No, there are natural red crystals, but they're
rare.
They're stupidly rare. Sith crystals are synthetic, and that just you can produce them en masse. And the reason why that is because of the time of the Old Republic, when the Sith Empire was still a thing. There weren't that many red kyber crystals that just naturally grew out of the ground. Not even on Korriban.
And they since they were Sith, and obviously the enemy of the Jedi, as we see here, the Jedi and like good people had control of all the kyber crystals. They were forced to sort of create these crude synthetic ones that were like red, because they weren't like this natural thing. All right.
So, one last thing. Donnie Yen is stupidly powerful, and I think if he would have survived, what I think they should have done, I think they should have had him going out in a scene where he fought against Vader and actually put up a very good fight.
I don't think he could have put up much of a fight.
I think he absolutely could have, because not only the fact of how much of a connection with the Force he had, but just the way he fought and the type of style he had.
Maybe if you got Vader by surprise.
I legitimately think in one-on-one he could have stood a bit of a fight against Vader, because Boba Fett survived the one-on-one lightsaber duel with Darth Vader. So, you know,
Which I don't understand. How come Barry just doesn't go around just snapping people's necks?
you know, my thing is, if you saw the scene with the blaster, Donnie Yen's blaster,
he has like this.
it was like
bow and arrow
Avatar:
thing.
The Last Airbender crap. I mean, there was a TIE fighter coming. He listened to where it was coming, shot down the TIE fighter, and the TIE fighter crashed directly into the turbo laser that was there for anti-air purposes.
Yeah, his like little like crossbow-esque thing was strong enough to take out an entire wing of a TIE fighter.
It was not little. It was gigantic. The weapon
Not
is
little.
stupid big.
Yeah, it was like the size of him.
Yeah, and it was, and you know, it was able to take down a TIE fighter in one shot. So that's like, Lord, that's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, what would you rate it? I'm giving it like a 9.5 out of 10.
I'm giving it a
Probably
9
my favorite
out of 10.
Star Wars.
Absolutely my favorite Star Wars up to this point.
Yeah, up to date. Can't wait for episode 8. Disney has proven that they aren't willing to shy away from the dark and gritty.
Which is very nice.
Yeah. All right, so I'm Brandon. This is
Parker.
And we will see you next time. Bye.